Tomorrow's a holiday, right?
I'm sorry?
Tomorrow is a holiday.
Yes, correct. So, yeah, tomorrow we aren't meeting, so holiday, no classes across the campus. So yeah, we're not meeting tomorrow. Next time we'll meet will be on Friday. And yeah, we'll get started. Just gonna take my shoes off now because we will be working on our arches a little bit. And yesterday I was teaching a 12-year-old how to be explosive and accelerate. So being quick off his feet. And of course, my body took a toll. So now my calves, I had a really bad cramp on my right calf. So if you don't mind, like I mentioned in the past, if there's a muscle group that we want to focus on a little bit more, you could always throw that on the chat and we'll pay attention to that a little bit more. So I'm gonna be a little selfish today, and then I'm just gonna ask if we could spend a little bit of time just kind of palpating our calves. So usually for that, I'll use a foam roller, or I'll just get my leg as so, and then I'll just like gently just kind of massage it, self massage. So if there's an area right now, it doesn't have to be your calf. Okay, I see upper back. All right, we'll work on upper back as well too. So yeah, let's go ahead and then just palpate. Yeah, I did the drills with him. Well, we had lower body strength, well, strength and conditioning yesterday. So we hit some legs. I also did a leg workout, and then I met with this 12-year-old. He loves soccer, but he wants to work on accelerating, so sprinting faster. And so I was showing him these drills that are, imagine like bunny hops, but like the whole workout is like a variation of bunny hops or just explosive stuff. So my calves, I think, my must have gotten fatigue. And anyways, so that happened around noon. And then around 5 p.m., I decided to go out for a run. And this is again, probably not the wisest thing for me. Um, so yeah, I went on my run, and after about 2 miles, I started feeling my right calf just getting a little tight. And I just, there's times where I just stretch it and I push through it and it goes away. And yesterday it just wasn't going away. And I continued to stretch and stop and ran 2 minutes and stretched. And anyways, I was stubborn with it and I did that for another mile. And then by the time I got to my block, I was just limping. So the rest of the evening, I was kind of just hobbling around. And it loosened up overnight, but I could still feel it. And I have a recruiting visit later today, so there's going to be a lot of walking on campus. So I don't want to be limping around for that. So, anyways, yeah, right now just kind of palpating, gently working on loosening up the muscle. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take today off running. Tomorrow we're going to the San Diego Safari Zoo. Um, so there'll be a lot of walking there. So I wouldn't be surprised if even Friday I have to take off running. So I'm not training for anything, so not too stressed about it. But of course, it's not great when, you know, you're on a roll and things just flare up. So, and I see on the chat, want to work on the upper back a little bit. So we'll do that as well. We'll spend a little bit more time on the upper back for that. Okay. So, anyways, done. I think that's a nice little warm up. So sometimes I'll spend like a few minutes just kind of, you know, releasing some tension before I run. But yeah, got that out of the way. So let's go ahead and begin with our facial exercises. So let's open our jaw, move our head up, and then close our jaw, and then go back and forth. Okay, so open wide, up, chin to nose, and feel that big stretch going down your neck. two more. Last one. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and start working on our neck. Since I want to focus a little bit more on back today too. We'll probably go from the chair down to the floor and spend several, I think, a good portion of our session on the floor, and then we'll finish off with the shoulders and stand up stretches. Okay, so gently, let's go ahead and just look left, right. Hope everyone's having a good day. Ooh. So again, these movements are gentle, nothing crazy. It's gentle movements. Is anyone sore from yesterday?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Hey. All right. And then a painful soreness up and down. Yeah, the legs just feel a little heavier, the arms. That's okay. We just don't want to be in pain. So again, just tilting your head up and down. Excuse me. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and look left and apply a little bit of pressure on our right side of our face, just so we could turn a little bit further. All right, switch. So now right side and push. Very good. All right, now look up and slight push on your chin. Relax. Now both hands over your head and elbows down. Gentle stretch on the back of your neck. Ooh. All right, sit on your left hand. Right hand comes over and allow that right elbow to drop down. Morning, Debbie, Safina, it's newer. Very good. Sit on that right hand now.
Buenos días, Julio.
Días, Ramón, ¿cómo está?
Bien, 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 gracias.
Gentle stretch. So is anyone getting up before 7 in the morning to go for a walk before it gets warm? Anyone doing that?
I
Okay.
am with my pups.
Oh, nice. What time are you getting up? Let's go neck circles.
Well, today I got up at 5:40 because there's a car that has it's a Charger and it has a rumble.
Yep. Yeah. So that's your new alarm.
That was my new alarm.
Rich. Yeah, so I have this, I think I shared, I have a goal of trying to run or running 1,000 miles this year, by the end of the year. So, any little setback like the calf getting tight, let's bring that right arm across. Um, kind of bums me out because, it keeps me away from running, which could potentially keep me away from that goal. But I was calculating right now, and the end of June would be the halfway mark of the year. So right now I'm at 507 miles for the year so far. So I think I have some wiggle room. So I have 493 to go and a little bit more than half of the year left. So I think I'm gonna be running more with the team this summer. So I think I should be able to catch up. Well, yeah. So I know there's December. It's really hard to when we're in break those last 2 or 3 weeks. It's tough, and after all the tamales, it's tough to get up and go for a run. See, so far so good. That's with February being such a bad month for me. Got really sick. Reach up towards the ceiling. Got really sick. My legs were destroyed after the Spartan race. So I think the month of February, I ran about a third or a quarter of what I typically run every month. Push up. Being right. Oh, let's go left. Very good. All right, we're gonna start working our way into our shoulders and our back. Do me a favor and sit near the front of the chair. Reach up towards the ceiling and keep that body stretched out and reach to the front, to the bottom, and back. So we'll do 8 of those, top to bottom, cat stretching pose. 2, up, 3, up, 4, get up, 3 more, 2 more, last one. Oof. All right, very good. Go at this angle, and we're just gonna do some shoulder circles. So again, shoulder circles, shoulders come up, forward, down, back. So ideally you want to do these slowly, but with the most range of motion as possible, okay? Because if you're just going fast, that's not doing much. So go as high up, as far forward, as far down, and as far back as you can. So you want the biggest stretch we could possibly get. Okay, reverse. And I'll try to make it a habit. Maybe every 5 minutes, we'll take a little quick water break just so we're hydrating. Take our first one after this one. So just going in reverse now. All right, so grab your water, little water break. Let's stay hydrated. in your body when it comes to absorbing water. It's like a sponge. So you want to constantly be hydrating. You don't want to just chug, a bottle and think that you're good because most of that won't get absorbed. So just want to make sure that you're constantly drinking throughout the day. Very good. All right, so this next one, we're gonna go ahead. You see how my elbows are here, my shoulders, my elbows are down here. So we're gonna bring those elbows back and the shoulders almost retract forward and then also retract back. So again, you're almost, the idea is to bring your shoulder blades behind you close together. Almost like if you have a small peanut in that middle upper back and you're trying to crush it with your shoulder blades. Then relax, reach, squeeze, hold, relax. So we're gonna hold that for about 2 to 3 seconds. We'll do about another 5 of those. So good. 2 more. That's one. Very good. Okay, let's do a single arm windmill. So remember, if a muscle group is tight, is tender, we also want to work on the joints and muscle groups surrounding that muscle group, if that makes sense. So for instance, if our upper back is a little sore, tight, and what connects to the upper back, the lower back, the neck muscles, the shoulder. So we don't just want to pay our fully attention to the area that's hurting. We want to kind of make sure things around it are also doing well. Reverse. Everything's connected. So I think for like low back pain, sometimes the issue is not in the back, it's on your hamstrings or your glutes, your hips, but sometimes it's the hamstring. Okay? And sometimes it's that piriformis. A little bit restricted on this side. And reverse. I feel like I have to hold on my side here, otherwise I kind of just get lazy and feel like my torso, like I do this movement when I do, so I hold myself. I restrict my torso from rotating. All right. Work on that shoulder a little bit more. So flex it up, internal rotation, and up. Let's switch. Eight. Ooh. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and still, we're gonna work on our elbows, our bicep, and our tricep a little bit. So palms are facing the screen, and then just tap that opposite shoulder. Your elbows really shouldn't be flaring up. Just keep them at your side. Okay, very good. So now palms are facing behind you as your arms are next to you. Then just bring them up and down. So it's a tricep press down. I'm got sore. Ah, all right. We're gonna work on the upper back a little bit. So this is typically a lift that you could do at the gym. This is called a face pull. So at the gym, you would have two cables here, and you would just bring those cables to the side or your shoulders. And as you're bringing up, your back is expanding. So that's the motion that we're gonna do right now. Okay, so reach in front of you and flare those elbows back and forward. So again, if your upper back is tender or sore or tight, your range of motion might be limited right now. Take some nice deep breaths and really make it a point to flare those elbows up because if you're not engaged, it's easily you could just bring those elbows down and that's not going to do much for your back. So let's come up here and open up. See two more. Almost like if you're opening the blinds, but you're flexing at the same time. Very good. All right, little quick water break. Just have some water. Jen, welcome back, Jen.
Thank you.
Uh, very good. Okay. Whew. All right, another motion that we're gonna do. I know we do the shoulder press motion a lot. We do that. We'll come back to that right now. But we want to do the opposite too, which is like the upright motion. Okay, so an upright, you start right here with the bar. This is again just a lot of the stretches we do just simulates the same movements that the lifts do. So you're here, then just push down next to you. Okay, so come up and then push down. So imagine you're holding a bar, lifting it, and then push. And you're keeping those arms to your side. Push, push. Okay, very good. All right, again, another movement. We're gonna do flies. Okay, so flies. Extend your arms here. And try to be pretty intentional on the way back because you could just like easily take them back and you don't feel like you're doing much. But try to contract and really try to engage, like almost flexing your arms, your forearms as you're doing that motion. Very good. Let's go ahead and start working our way down. Okay, so trunk rotation, knees are facing forward. Trunk is nice and upright. Rotate your trunk. Grab a hold of the side of your chair and the backrest. And just a gentle stretch. None of these should be painful. Just holding here. Reach a little bit more. The muscles should relax. All right. Let's go ahead and switch. Switch sides. Reach. Reach a little bit more. Very good. All right, working our way down our body. Just gonna do our hip opener. So bring that right knee out. Make sure it doesn't collapse. So keep your hand in place. There. Is anyone doing any traveling between now and 4th of July? Safina, where are you going? Ramon, can't hear you guys. Let's switch.
Yeah, andamos en Texas.
Oh, andan paseando por allá.
Sí, vimos con una cuñada, sí, pero de todos modos nos levantamos aquí, pues aquí ya son las 11.
Sí. Ok,
Sí, sí, hacer ejercicio. Caminamos un
sí,
rato y luego hacemos ejercicio.
qué bueno.
Sí, sí. Una semana nomás.
Ok,
Ok.
qué bueno.
Ah,
Disfruten.
gracias, Julio. Buen día, que sabía.
Sí. Right, performance. Right ankle and that left knee. Yeah, I think going to like I said, San Diego Zoo tomorrow. And then next week we start with practice. So I have more things tying me down to this area. So not as eventful as last summer. Last summer, I think for this weekend, I was flying to Minnesota. Okay, so let's push down. My friend was doing a marathon out there, so I just want to go support him. Um, so yeah, family's visiting from Washington. We're hosting them for 4th of July weekend and the week after. Uh, little sister's getting married. And yeah, July doesn't seem after like the first week of July seems kind of just like like just not much is going on. So yeah, I mentioned there'll be some interruptions. I think the last 2 weeks of the term on Monday through Thursdays. Because yeah, I just got scheduled double booked for a couple of things. But yeah, let's switch. Left ankle on that right knee. I have a convention in Vegas at the start of August, but I don't know if I'm gonna go. They're doing it on a Sunday, and I don't know if I want to like spend my day off. And it used to be a 2-day convention, like a Monday, Tuesday, and then now they're just doing it a 1 day on a Sunday. So we shall see if that happens.
I'm going to Kauai and
Oh,
I'm
nice.
debating whether to do one of the hikes or not. I think if
Yeah,
I'm diligent in the exercise, I'm gonna attempt it.
get on it. Do it. Yeah, don't want to miss an opportunity.
Yeah, those waterfalls are pretty nice.
Oh, man. Yeah, you should. Yeah, continue to get up early and you know make sure that that car, the charger, wakes you up every morning and yeah, go for your walks. Bring that knee up. Morning, Nella.
I was trying to sneak in without you knowing I was late.
Nope, nope. There's a huge bell every time someone comes in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It sounds like someone's ringing the front door. So that's funny. You're like tippy toeing inside the Zoom class and It's like, no, it's like a huge like spotlight on you. So
Oh,
let's go
well,
ahead.
I was exercising.
Uh-huh. Let's bring the wrist over the knee. Just push down. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, you can't sneak in though. Like a parent waiting for their teenager to get home past midnight. I'm just right there on the couch sitting down in the dark. And relax. So again, so relax, push down. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Let's go ahead and one finger at a time towards the center of your palm. Yeah, I've only been to Hawaii once, and it was a very short trip, maybe 3 days. But I only went to Oahu, and yeah, it was nice, but it was more like a business trip. We were there for a competition, so I didn't get to explore too much. I think we had one afternoon to explore. Um, but yeah, from what I remember, it was beautiful. But I'd like to go to the other islands where there's less tourists or activity going on. So let's open our hands and keep those fingers straight. So try not to bend at the knuckles. Straight as possible. I want to go to Alaska, maybe a cruise to Alaska. Right, so now we're going to web out the fingers and bring them back. Web them out, back. Yeah, I think the next state, more most realistically that I'll visit. I've been there once, long time ago, but we'll probably go back to Rhode Island now that my friends are moving out there. I think they're flying out tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I'll probably go there. And he's originally from Maine, and I've always told him I'd like to go out there in the fall. I hear it's beautiful with the trees. Then let's make fist open. Yeah, I feel like every fall picture that looks gorgeous with the changes of colors in the leaves and variations of yellows and oranges and reds is from like Vermont or Maine. I told him to want to go check that out. All right, let's go on our left hand. So I just what are we doing? Oh, sorry, I forgot this one. So just wrist go up and down. For those of you that are always on a desk or typing away, or if you're playing Candy Crush or Farmville on your phones or whatever game you have, if you have any. All right, let's go pinky. Let's roll each knuckle. Okay, now keep each finger straight and bring them to the center of your hand. I wouldn't be surprised today if we just do the chair and the floor stretches. So we might focus on the shoulders a little bit more on Saturday. So remember, tomorrow we don't meet. So just remember that, right? Let's do each finger at a time, but we're flexing or bending each knuckle. All right, and then now let's web the fingers out. So you don't have to make a fist, but just web them out from each other. The so as I mentioned earlier, I was working out with the 12-year-old yesterday, and his mom just messaged me saying he's very sore today. So at least I'm not the only one. Make a fist and relax, just gently. You don't have to squeeze too hard. I'm not gonna lie. I had him do some drills with like a ladder on the floor, and the kid had very good coordination and very athletic. And then I had him do more like a high knee, but like something a little bit quicker than the high knee, just a little bit more. And when I say quicker, it's just when you know how we drive our knees up and down. So on the way down, it's almost like you're stomping really suddenly and fast. All right, let's go ahead and recline back. Bring that knee to, or that upper leg to your chest and extend that lower leg. Oh, there's the popping. So yeah, so I had him do that variation of high knee with like a quick movement, and I was proud of myself because I was able to do it, and he had a hard time doing it. So so I was very happy that I had a quicker velocity than a 12-year-old. For like 5 seconds, I was like pretty proud of myself. So, and of course, like 6 hours later, I I pretty much cramped up and I paid for it. So, but yeah, I could say I'm a little bit athletic on the hips more than a 12-year-old. I'll take that. Switch. So right here. I couldn't do the ladder stuff he was saying. He was moving way too fast for me. Let's go ahead and grab some water. We have a few left on our lower legs, and then we'll transition to the floor. We're still reclined. Okay. So this one, we're gonna bring our leg in and then extend out. So we're doing our right leg first. We're gonna do 8 of these leg extensions, or sorry, leg presses. So you see my leg pushes and then it drops down. Okay. So push and drop. 2 more. Awesome. Right. Left leg. All right. Very good. Awesome. So let's go ahead and elevate that right ankle and just trace letters of the alphabet. So as I was saying earlier, you don't when something's bothering you, you don't just want to focus on that muscle group or that area where directly it's bothering you because it could be things around it. And for example, right now, working out the ankles, but this puts some stress on my calf. So yeah, so that ankle movement is influencing how my calf feels. So again, that's why you want to work on all the components around muscle group or the joint that's being affected. P. Okay. Next is just some toe curls. So just bring your toes towards your heel. So just scratching at the floor. I think I saw the forecast. I think today might be the hottest day um, in the next 4 days. My watch tells me the next 4 days. I'm gonna take off my socks. So we're gonna go ahead. If you have socks on, remove them, or if you have a small rag, we're just gonna go ahead and grip your sock or the rag, drop it, and fix it with your toes. So we're working on expanding, separating the toes, and then just working on the little tendons on your toes. Okay. So yeah. Then I think I saw today was gonna be like 87, and then I think on Saturday it had or Friday like 73. So hopefully it's true. Not 100% confident on the weather forecast, but yeah, they've gotten more accurate, honestly, in the last few years. I remember as a kid, I never believed it. That switch, I would say it was gonna be cloudy, possible rain, then it was sunny and hot. Like, oh, those people are just guessing. So again, just kind of gripping the socks, fixing them, working. Awesome. All right, so this is the time where you grab some water and then also set up your yoga mat. So set up your yoga mat. We're gonna be on the floor probably the remainder of the class session. So go ahead and do that. Give you a minute or two if you want to use the restroom. Now's a good time to do that. And we'll regroup in about 90 seconds. Okay. Setting up the yoga mat. One more piece. As mentioned, I think we right there. I'll get most of it. All right. So we're just gonna lay. Let's go belly down, or actually right side up, and just I want you to reach behind you and reach as far back as you can, and with your toes extend them, push forward, almost like if you're getting stretched out. So we're here, pull, so push and reach. Push with your feet and reach behind you and relax and reach, push, and relax. All right, we're gonna go ahead and be face down now. And same idea, you're reaching and you're pushing and relax. Reach, push, And relax. Reach. One more. Okay. All right. So we're gonna be here, the arms extended at our side. And what I want you to do is lift your kind of just rest face forward, rest on your chin, and try to bring your hands up and then down. So up, down. Do two more. All right. Now let's go ahead and rest on your elbows. So we're resting on our elbows. Just face forward. Rest on your elbows. All right, let's go ahead and place your hands where your elbows were and push up. Try to fully extend your elbows. Nice stretch here. Take nice deep breaths. Let's go ahead and bring your glutes towards your heels. So one movement, glutes towards your heels. Reach up or in front of you with your hands. So just crawl those fingers as far as those hands could go forward. And relax. All right. We're on our fours. We're gonna do our cat-cow. So from here, arch up. Exhale, arch down. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Very good. Let's go ahead and shift our hands off the mat to the left side of the mat. So my legs are on the mat, my arms aren't. From here, I'm gonna arch up. So arch up and bring your glutes to your heels. And let's rest here for about 30 to 40 seconds. Reset. All right, shuffle to the right side of the mat. Let's see right here, arch up and glutes back. Very good. Right, grab a little bit of water. Watch to lay it on the floor on your back. Okay, so we're on your back. So I want you to bring your knee up. Grab a hold right under your knee. Cool. And while you're holding this, you see my toes? They're pushing out and in. So you're getting a nice hip stretch by holding your knee and by flexing and dorsiflexing your ankle. You're also getting a nice stretch on your arch, your Achilles, and your calf. So as long as you're being engaged, pushing here. Okay. Switch. Continue. Very good. All right, from here, I want you to go ahead, bring your right leg up, and then with your right hand or arm, try to pretty much push it out to the side. Okay, so it's almost like a hip opener, but this is on a laying down motion. So you're not relying too much on your balance, and it's just going to be more just realistic to what range of motion your hips have. Okay, so let's hold it off to the side. Relax. Left knee comes in, hold it, and then off to the side. Very good. Okay. Got a couple left. So we're gonna go with our book openers. So stack your body, heel on heel, knee on knee, hip over hip, tuck in a little bit, stack your hands, and we're gonna do 8 of these. Okay, so just follow that left hand or that top hand as far back as you can. You could reach behind you and look, great. If not, just continue with deep breaths. Maybe we'll get there by the 8th one. So again, slowly, just follow that hand. Let's do 3 more. That's 2. That's 1. I'm gonna switch sides. So we're here. Again, make sure those come heel on heel, knee on knee, hip on hip. Stack and follow that hand far back. Oh. This right side's a little tighter for me. Not as easy. 2, 3, 4, got 3 more, 6, 7, last one is 8. All right. Last two we're doing are gonna be knee drops. So hands at your side, we're in that sit-up position, and just drop your knees off to your side. So we're doing 5 on each side. Very good. All right, we're gonna go into our last one. Okay, so our last one is gonna be a more advanced variation of the knee drop. So this time, instead of being in the sit-up position, we're gonna be in the crunch position. Okay, now we're here, and then same thing. Keep those legs elevated, and we're doing 5 on each side. Four, 4, and 5, and 5. Okay. I'll actually do one more. I'm like the biggest liar when it comes to almost done, and then I add something else. My apologies. So we're gonna be kneeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
I noticed that.
Like he always says that, and then he adds something else. So we're kneeling, right leg comes out, and then just rotate your torso towards that leg, and then lean towards it. So just hamstring. Sorry.
I like this one. Feels good.
Yeah, good. I tend to do that at practice too a lot. Like, I don't know why. I just, I gather the group, telling them what the upcoming week looks like, and then someone has one question, and then I talk for another 5 or 10 minutes on my question. And I see like half of the kids' attention span just going out the window or like rolling their eyes. I'm like, okay, I need to be quiet. I talked far too long. So then face forward and lean down. You focus on my. Okay. Then just the other side, and I promise there's nothing else after. So let's turn that torso and lean towards it. And deep breaths. You're probably gonna get a little bit more range of motion if you're relaxed. Back up, and now lean forward. 135 calories. Not bad, just for stretching.
I don't know. I have 189,
Oh man,
but
you're
I'm feeling every part of my body today.
there you go.
I don't know. We're doing something wrong with these exercises.
Are you wearing one of those you know the how some folks wear like trash bags when they go out running so they can sweat more? Do
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
do you have that on right now?
No, nothing. Just
Oh,
my
no.
body. Ah!
Yeah, very good. Oh, right at an hour for the yoga session. But great. Hopefully everyone's feeling better. I'll let you know on Friday how my calf is doing. I might have to take it easy on Friday with the leg stuff. But yeah, I think last week I took it easy and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go hard. And then my body's like, no, we need a little bit more time. So, but any questions before we head out?
I feel good.
Good. Debbie, are we sore from yesterday? No?
Just a little bit. I'm surprised
little?
I'm not more sore.
Debbie, I
I
know you need to upgrade your dumbbells. I know you've gotten stronger over the years for sure. So, and I know you have a nice set too. So, but yeah, but remember if things start getting easier, I know for the arms, shoulders, what we have, even if it's like 10 pounds or less, that's always gonna be plenty. But for legs, at some point, you're probably gonna have to have over 15 or 20s for some. Because the legs are a lot bigger muscle groups, so they could carry more weight. So if some weights are getting lighter, then yeah, just when it's Christmas time or your birthday's around the corner, and people are asking, oh, what do you want me to get you? Instead of them bringing you flowers, be like, oh, can I get some dumbbells next time?
Good point.
So yeah.
Are you talking about 20 pounds on each side?
It depends. I think 20 could sometimes like for a squat, that might be okay, but for like lunges, 20 on each arm could get heavy. But I think there's some movements because then sometimes even like for when you do rows, 10s could be light after a while.
Yeah.
But I think like 15 pounds is like a nice pose. Or maybe I think Debbie, you have a
12.
kettlebell, right?
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
have a 20-pound
yeah.
kettlebell.
So if you have like one item that's a little bit heavier when you do goblet squats, like that's perfect. So you don't need to have, like two pairs of 30s if you're only gonna use one of the weights. So might as well just get one kettlebell. Yeah. All right, folks. I'll see you on Friday. Remember, no class tomorrow. And yeah, just hydrate. And yeah, just stretch and
Enjoy your zoo.
yeah, the
Safari.
San Diego Safari Zoo. Yeah, so
Yeah, with your little one.
yes, so it should be fun. I'm just hoping my calf loosens up throughout the day today because I don't want to be limping around tomorrow. So
Okay.
You
all
will
right,
be
folks.
fine.
Take care,
Thank
Julio.
you.
Take care.
Julio.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
good Wednesday. Take care.